That's out the dishwasher, and now just going over it with the foam block, rubbing block, and I've got that plastic filler on, so that's filling in those gaps. There'll be that hole, go over it twice, just get one level on it first and then over again for second go. Meantime, I'll get the brackets ready. I'll get this felt line on the brackets, so we're going for a heater vacuum hose there. You've got your bracket here done. What I'm doing with these, I've oversized that diameter. I'm just going to felt line that, just so when this fits on, it's a nice cushion fit inside the bracket, rather than the hose going metal to rubber and rubbing away the paint here, because there's going to be engine vibration. And that vacuum hose does vibrate with the engine, so my idea was it would chafe the paint away eventually and just end up with rub marks. So I thought, well, if I cushion this with a felt lining, it'll grip the hose better. This is a slight improvement on it, I thought, so that's going to go over there like that. So that's the plan. Get some felt lined on here now. I'll get the glue out on it, the two-part adhesive, the Evo stick, which is a contact adhesive, so a coating on there with a brush, and then same on the felt. Just cut those pieces to length now, those felt pieces. We'll have two nice brackets there to fit onto our heater. Once we've prepped it and painted it, we can attach those, and we're nearly done. That's the felt on the inside. I've got to glue it now, just cut it to fit. So now I'll get the contact adhesive on that one, get that one ready. Smash those off, and I've sprayed some contact into the tub, into the lid, and then just brushed it on the inside. Now I'll just spray these in. Just one coat on the felt strips. There we go on there. Just let that go tacky, and then we've got to carefully feed those liners into the brackets, and then the brackets are done. Nicely lined and nicely cushioned for the vacuum hose. Slight mod, non-standard alarm's been going off, but I like the improvement. It's going to look tidy. Okay, that's in. Felt lined. I'll make a nice fitting for the vacuum hose. So we'll get ready to fit those later on. Right, I'm just going over that with a paint wipe. I've blocked that down. Those have gone. Those have gone. Just a second skim on that, and maybe just some of those scratches there, but that sanding down's got it. So I'll just do another very light skim to finish off. That's ready for some primer then, and we'll see what the finish looks like. Okay, let's get another fix of bumper filler on and see what happens. A little guide coat on the top there, and then we'll just be seeing how it settles, and that will tell us how much we need to flat it down on the lower piece. That top looks like it's just completely gone, so this filler primer's going to be good stuff, so probably just get away with 800 on there, maybe 1000 on there to finish that, and we're done. Let's see how the flap's getting along. We left you yesterday with a flap that was galvanised, 3 coats of galv, and then the gloss black. That's bang on. There's your petrol pickup as well. Here's your lower brackets, another lower bracket there. That flap's nice, that's a good finish. We're going to go for the foam on it now, so I've got to work out a good piece of foam to use for this. Not sure what to use. I have got these pieces here which could fit, so we'll probably go for these. It's the correct thickness. It is a Ford foam, so we can go for that if we want, or we can go for the felt. Got to decide what to do on that one, to decide what's going to be best for me. It's more original if you have this foam, I guess. That will work quite well. It's just that I didn't want it to hold moisture, you see, and then rot that flat, whereas the felt doesn't do it. I've also got this carpet underlay stuff. Don't know if that's going to be any good, and I've also got a bigger chunk of foam over there which I was going to slice, but going to need a sort of cheese wire to slice that accurately, or a bandsaw. I ain't got that. So decisions to be made on the foam. And also, does it go on both sides, or is it just on one side? I need to investigate how the flap works next. So I'm going to get the bar, which was galvanised. That's over here. Take it over to find the bar. I've galvanised that, and then I've just pickled it so it's gone the black colour. That's got a good gal finish on it now, the bar. So that'll be getting fitted to the flap. It actually gets locked in place at the last minute so that you can assemble the heater, otherwise you can't actually assemble it. Right, I'm going to find the diverter box piece. I don't know where that is now. Is it over here? Is this it? So no, that's a completed one. I'm looking for the. Oh, that's got foam on both sides. Foam on both sides. Yep, because it hits both sides there. So unfortunately. Okay. Although you could get away with a perimeter of foam. You don't need the whole thing to have foam on it. It's only to create a seal on the edge. So you could cut strips round. Could cut this into strips. I might do that. Let me have a look and investigate it. Okay, nearly there. That fix has gone. That's lost that hole. So just finally flat that down now, and then we can start the primer. Just copper slip the bottom of this pivot now, so it's a smooth operation. I'm going to fit this galvanised bar back in and slot it all back together. So that's that diverter flap boxed up, and then we'll get back onto painting that heater box. So diverter flap there with its foam, and it's closing and squishing up all right. So that's going to be a good seal, and it's much more waterproof than the normal foam that they use. So slight improvement there. Greased at the bottom for a smooth pivot. Get the locking bar back in now. Here we go. Right, that's the primer on, just the first coat. Just dusted that in. All evidence of those brackets has disappeared. Here I can see one little indentation, but it's covered by the actual metal mount bracket, so that doesn't matter. I think I didn't really work that area that hard because I knew the bracket was sitting on top of it. The key areas have gone. One scratch maybe. I'll live with that. So primer on. Ready now for that to go off, set, cure. One more layer of primer after that, one more coat, and then on with the black gloss. And then that box can cure for a few days before we start to reassemble it all. Just mocking up over here, mocking up on the old heater the flap with a foam backing pad, and that seals okay, it doesn't obstruct it. So we're moving okay with that. That's going to work. That's the foam. So we're kind of like held up now with that till the paint cures. Time to just shift a load more stuff out of the way, and then we'll go and look at some, yet again, wiring harness, yet again. There's those two felt line brackets for the hose. We'll just run the hose through those now, see how it fits. Oversized diameter to get the felt liner, and then slightly modified stronger brackets with backing plates. They've got two backing plates here which have been galvanised and painted, as well as a double measure. Here they are. These fit inside the heater box. That makes a nice solid mounting instead of those flimsy ones that just crack off and snap off the box. There's the back of the box, nice and clean. Doesn't need any paint, that's non-visible. Clean anyway. So you're alright there. That's that little bit of job done there. Now just get another coat on this when it cures, and then ready for its main lovely black coat. That should make a nice job. And then I'll do the heater motor faceplate separately. We're going to strip the heater motor down. I'm actually going to use a fiberglass faceplate for this, just give it a little bit of a touch. See what it looks like. I've got two to choose. I've got the plastic motor faceplate, or I've got the fiberglass one. Both are in good nick. We'll see how we get on with that. That's it for now. Let me clear some floor space again. As that operation's complete, I can put the sanding equipment away and the filler stuff and move on to something else. Okay. Alright, just checking them brackets fit on the vacuum hose there, which they're a nice snug fit. So they're going to work, and they'll be fitting on top. That'll give a nice routing for our vacuum hose. Just wait for that last coat of paint now to go, and then we're hitting it with a black gloss. First we're going to get a stippled effect by just spattering on the high build between coats. That's going to give us a textured effect. We'll finish in matte not a gloss. It's the closest we're going to do it. So what I've been doing is spattering on that high build, flipping it over and letting it slightly run just to get crisscross lines, and then rotating it, let it go up like that, and then it'll run one way, spatter it and let it go that way, and the paint runs will crisscross. It's going against every sort of painting principle you would really. Right, now for the clever bit. Lacquer on, paintbrush, scissors, cut your end of your bristles in varying lengths and let it dust down onto the heater box. That'll give you the fibre finish that you need, and then you can just lightly flat that off, and it'll leave imprints in the lacquer of the bristles. So when you lightly buff it up, you'll get little imprints in the lacquer. The good thing about this is it doesn't matter how rough you are, you can't mess it up because it's a rough finish anyway on these boxes. So we've just been cutting various bits of bristle and letting it land on there to build a texture up, and then the lacquer cures and you can just brush off the excess bristles, hit it again, and you'll build up a texture finish. It's looking glossy at the moment, but we'll buff that down. Alright, more bristles going on. We'll cut down the brush now. Could be good for a seam sealer brush. So you can see the texture building up. Don't worry if there's bristles sticking out, that's what your sanding block's for. Okay, so the lacquer going on, that's a good acrylic strong lacquer, that should set pretty tough. You could use resin and you could use the actual resin and paintbrush this on. That's another idea I had. I'll see how this looks anyway. I think this idea is going to lightly take off any loose bristles. It'll just before it fully cures, just so they'll pull out of the resin. I don't want it to fully set. They're coming off now, you can see them. And the ones that are flat can be lacquered in. So any loose bristles now, and you see the fibre effect coming up. Let's see if we can fool anybody. Tell them I've got a new old stock heater box. Let's see what we can do. So, just taking that off there. Just lightly, no pressure. Just the weight of the block itself. Right then, so as I start to rub back now, the grain will start to appear. See that? The fibre grain starts to come up. So all we do, finish off with 800, and then one last coat of paint and a lacquer, and that is it. You've got a retro fibre box. Now add the brackets and put it all together. Hope you like it. Okay, so just really going for it now that paint's cured. It starts to come up a nice dust. And as I'm sanding this, it feels like I'm sanding fiberglass. So it's worked. It's textured it right up. I'm getting the dust now, so I know the paint's hard. It's a long slog, but it's going to be worth it. The idea is working. As I'm blocking away there, the fibres are sort of tearing up in little bits, and it's starting to really feel like this one. I feel that one now, I feel this one, and the texture's almost the same. So we're in with that now. We're finished. Looks like an old but clean fiberglass heater box. It's even got like bits of dust in it, and I've aged it in a bit. I've just tried to get it where I wanted it to be, so I can now begin to put all the bits and bobs on that. I'm happy with that finish there. I think you'd fool some people with that. Great, so I took some doing to get all that finished, to get that textured finish.